You guys know that I am unlike any other reviewer on the internet. It has always been that way. I have my own voice. I have my own philosophies. They are very consistent. And I always have my eye on value. Are you getting what you paid for? Rarely we see on tabletop you get more than you pay for in the items that I review. I generally get excited about those things. Let me say I will not be getting that excited about the SIG M400 series of direct gas impingement AR-15s. Spoiler alert. They're not awful. Don't get me wrong. They're good AR-15s, but again, we're going to set the foundation of how much you paid for this gun. Are you getting what you paid for? Now listen, dudes. I do not mind paying a lot for something if I feel like I'm getting a lot in return. Sounds obvious, right? Well, yeah, that's obvious. No, it isn't. There's a lot of guys that are not like that. They have no problem paying premium prices and not getting much in return. They might get bragging rights in the forums. Hey, I got this gun. This 1911 I spent $5,000 on. Doesn't shoot any better than a $1,000 1911, but man, it's bragging rights. We've seen it a lot. We'll see it in the AR-15 world, the AR-10 world, the battle rifle world, collectible world. It's always been that way. Not me. That's not me. That's not what my project is about. It's about how much you're paying. Are you getting a good price, or are you getting good value for it? So when you tune into one of my videos, my GRVs, watch review videos, by the way, wrist check, Momentum Vortec GMT is on the wrist right now. You get what you pay for, a little bit more than you pay for with this watch. That's what you're getting. You're getting an honest, independent take. And that's what I'm going to give you on the SIG M400 series. This is the Elite TI. It costs at the gun shop, I think, $1,225. For me to do a manufactured AR-15 review, we kind of have to understand that there are people still buying ready, put together AR-15s. I know a lot of my viewers will say, well, you know, I'm going to build my own AR-15. And I say, more power to you, bro. I hear you talking. You're not going to get a warranty with that. I've done it. I've made videos on it. I, too, am a big, big advocate of building your own. But it's kind of nice there are ready, put together AR-15s. You're going to hear me talk about this AR-15 a lot. This is a POF Renegade Plus, reviewed previously. It is a cast member for just such a review I'm doing now. So the reason we bought this gun is so I can come to tabletop and talk about the value of this gun versus an M400. It's a direct gas impingement gun. It's an upper scale AR-15 put together by a major manufacturer, POF. And we're going to talk about its features, which are actually so extensive that I have them written down and rolled into an index card in the pistol grip. It's hilarious, dude. And of course, we're going to talk about features briefly, how did it shoot, and then would I buy it? And we're going to focus on the SIG, the M400. Knife for the review. Haven't seen it in a while. The Knockout 1870 Kershaw limited edition OD. I think there might be some of these OD ones out there. If so, I'll put an Amazon link below. Use it, please, for everything, and it supports the show. Super sick. And then I'm going to put a SOG Northwest Ranger on the table. Cryoed Aus 8 steel, perfect soldier knife, full flat grind, perfect jimping. The sheath is, it's okay. It's not awesome. Patches at our web store, Nothing Fancy Big Cartel. Thanks to my Patreon members. It's the reason I put out more than one video a week. I'm now, with the way you guys watch, the level you watch, I'm putting out, always subject to change, about 4 videos a week. If you insert the same discussion I've had a bazillion times. It's really up to the audience how much I produce. But Patreon guys, link below, are the reason I'm continuing to chug ahead, because there is very little ad revenue there. They've cut You heard about it. Even if you see an ad in YouTube, the cost share now is so minimal with the producer of the video, it's not good. Enough said. By the way, this video will prove that I really don't play favorites with any manufacturer, because I rave about guns like this, the SIG, same company, P227, P226 series, right? Love them. Go to War Handguns. This is a 45 ACP version, Desert Dusty. It's been hanging out for some tabletops of late because I like it. But at the same time, I'm going to be a little bit critical on this gun. So no one gets a free pass from any major manufacturer. And guess what? If I was you, that's exactly the way I would want the review to go. I don't want, because it's like, you know, an artist, a musical artist. Some songs are good and some songs ain't so good. I don't like everything a certain artist does. That's just me. There are different variations of this one. They do have a VTAC version. It has a couple more features. I think an extended charging handle. It has an upper and lower receiver tensioner in the VTAC version of the SIG M400. SIG, in my understanding, decided they wanted to get into the DI game several years ago and said, hey, this is the game changer. And they said, and this is actually what they said on the website, is the new standard in DI ARs, says SIG. The new standard. We'll see about that. We'll see. Remember the price, $1,225 MSRP. I don't know, ballpark around $1,450, $1,500. Features. Oh, philosophy of use is standard AR-15. You guys get it. Defensive, without rule of law, recreational, competition, patrol rifle, police officers. I'll leave it at that. We've talked about it so many times. Features super quick. Has a 16-inch barrel in this variation. Right here, it is an M4 stepped profile barrel. Pretty cool. I believe it is a nitrided, not chrome plated barrel in this one. Has a standard A2 birdcage on it. And remember I talked about value? Okay, SIG, dudes. WTH, man. Seriously. WTH. You're charging this much for a gun and you're throwing on an A2? We're going to look at this gun at the top here, the POF, and we're going to show you how it should be done. That's not a cheap AR. I'm not saying it is, but you're going to get value. Not here. You get a freaking A2? Weak. M4 profile barrels. You know, I've talked about them a lot. I'm not super stoked on them. It's a cheap way for the manufacturer to make a lightweight AR-15. Hey, let's just throw an M4 profile. It's super skinny under the handguard. Okay, whatever. Non-adjustable gas block. Oh, I'm sorry. This one is adjustable. I am mistaken. It's a micro-light gas block, so that is value. Let me show that to you. Only the highest production values ever right here. Not going to be inset. It's going to be real time, the way I like it when I'm watching YouTube. So you can adjust that gas block, and we did not. Right here. Thin profile handguard. I actually love the handguard. It's M-LOK capable. Super cool. And it's trim. It's good to see that the fat handguards went the way of the dinosaur. I railed against them for years here. I made fun of manufacturers that came out with fat handguards. I said it to their face at SHOT Show. Finally, they got the clue bird and they're done. What they used to tell me in the day too is, well, you know, if you do rapid fire, you need more distance from the barrel so you don't burn your hand. I said hogwash. That's not the case. Maybe with full auto fire, but semi-automatic fire that most guys do, I don't think so. But it's a really nice handguard. I'm not sure who's making this for SIG. Maybe MI, not sure. There's your attachment method to the standard barrel nut. Remember that. As far as I know, that is a standard barrel nut. Standard M1913 on the top. And then we get a forged lower receiver with the M400 series. Cool. I love forged over billet. I've always said that. And I really like the coating on this. Again, this titanium coloration on this. I think it is Cerakote on it. And standard controls here. I mean, it's all standard AR-15. Standard safety. Not ambidextrous. Nothing tricky here. It's standard. So, again, I look at it, I go, it's not bad, but money. we're just not getting a lot for the money, says me. Let's check out the trigger. I'm going to pull this on camera. I was not impressed with the trigger at all. I mean, I think it's pulling around 9 pounds, dudes, and that's awful for a high-end AR-15. Generally, a well put together AR-15 will have about a 4.5 pound trigger on it. Well, it pulled 7.2 there. I pulled the other day, it was like 9. It's like, oof. I would replace the trigger. It's got a Magpul extended trigger guard there. Cool. Standard dust cover, forward assist. There's your forge marking here. On the upper at least. Not taking it apart for time. Standard charging handle on it. It's okay. We should get more. And I'm not taking it apart because it's just standard M16 bolt carrier. You've seen it. The quality's good. I'm not making fun of the quality at all, although it's standard coatings on that. Phosphate coated as far as I know. Again, we're going to look at that gun for some comparison. Some interesting comparison. Proprietary pistol grip on there. It's actually pretty nice. Another company making it for SIG. It has a storage compartment in here. I don't need to store any notes on the M400 in here because there's not much to talk about in features. Mil-spec buffer tube. Kind of stake castle nut back here. We don't have any sling plates that are included. I don't see any single point attachment systems here other than what's included on the proprietary 6-position stock for a spring cup there, or a spring cup here. Again, it's a value system with me. I don't mind the stock. Most of the stocks coming out now are good. My standard is still that one, the MFT. It's lightweight, functional, not the strongest stock out there, but when it comes to SAWC, the MFTs up here on that POF are my personal favorite. If I'm competing in 3-gun, I would use something else because SAWC is not primary. Comfort and stability is primary, and then I'd run something else, probably heavier. It's got a big old adjustment paddle right here on this 6 stock. Polymer butt pad, which is nice. That's your features review. Firepower, standard AR-15, no questions about that. And now out comes the feature set of the POF. Renegade Plus. This is going to be fun, dudes. It's so fun. I literally had to write all these features down because they are so numerous. Granted, this is going to be somewhat more expensive, the POF Renegade Plus Gen 4. But there's a lot going on here. First, we have an upgraded Tomahawk ambidextrous charging handle right here. And man, I raved about this in the review. We have a flat 3.5 pound trigger. It is a cassette one, so it's modular. And it's nitride coated. It's made of A2 steel and it is superb. And did I mention 3.5 pounds? Also a nitrided barrel. It is a little bit skinnier, but it's under the handguard of this portion here, post gas block, pre-gas block I should say. But it's not M4 profile. A 3-port muzzle brake that works, by the way, with strike prongs on it. Remember I showed you the A2 on this? Look at the POF gets it. This is their proprietary one, I think. They put this together. We have a 1-piece BCG. Integral gas key, so you don't have to worry about any staking issues. And look at the coating. Nickel boron versus nitride in the SIG M400. Upscale? I don't think so. This is upscale. Then they have a roller cam pin to minimize wear. I said in the review, do you need that in your AR-15? No, but it's nice to have. 14-inch M-LOK forend is perfect on the Renegade Plus Gen 4. 9-position, they call it Dictator gas block. So it's basically the same. This is a micro adjust gas block of the M400. Check out this though. This is what I love about POF. This is actually helpful. They have an oversized heat sink barrel nut. It offers 17 times the heat dissipation under rapid fire strings in the POF Renegade. This is something, dudes. So that is where a lot of heat is generated. And look at the attachment method. It's a strong attachment method where it pulls the handguard together just like the BCMs do. So it's non-rotational and it just kind of tightens around and kind of grasps around the entire circumference of the heatsink. And what do you know? We've got some sling attachments here built in. Look at this in the back, the POF right here. Are you getting the vibe what I'm talking about? And And SIG is saying this sets a new standard for AR-15s? I don't think so. I think this is subpar. This is a standard AR-15, and at an $800 to $900 price point, this would be a different review. I'd be going, hey, this is cool. Get a nice finish, basic furniture, basic charging handle, basic, but man, it's nice. Yeah, this one is dominating it, man. I mean, it's embarrassing how much it's dominating it. This is a straight gas tube in the POF Renegade. Has E2 dual extraction technology in the POF Renegade. You can watch on their website what that means. And again, you get perfect furniture. You get the more vertical Magpul V2 grip and the MFT stock on it. And still it weighs 6 pounds 12 ounces. Naked with the scope and the magazine, 7 pounds 14, which isn't the lightest weight AR out there. I'm not saying it is. But naked, 612, it's pretty good. For all the features you're getting, features review complete. Embarrassed, dominated. Yeah, how did it shoot? The SIG M400. I did not like the trigger. Reliably, though, the crew and I thought it worked great. It shot well. I didn't see any jams. It shucked steel well. It shucked all the brass loads reliably. It was 100%. But when we get to the accuracy, very disappointed. I'm going to roll in a POF Renegade Plus one from 2016. So here we see with 77 grains, shooting sub MOA. Look at that, dudes. Sub MOA. Drop Gunnings an email at the least. Buy some ammo from them. Federal ammo. Support the show. Now we go to the SIG M400. I'm not going to say it's awful, but is this really premium accuracy? I'm a half MOA shooter off the bench, whether I'm in the desert or anywhere else. Actually, on concrete, I can get to a quarter MOA. Dude, Freedom Munitions 77 grain. I did shoot some other loads. It's shooting awful. That's like a 4-inch group. Maybe not a consistent load. I don't know. American Eagle FMJ shooting not great. Not great. Ultramax shot a good group. That's really good. American Eagle shooting some embarrassing groups. I mean, I came away shooting this and I was like, well, you saw I wrote bad trigger there. It does have a bad trigger, but that's no excuse for it to shoot like this. This is basically barrel quality. And I was like, this is kind of shooting like a Mini 14 kind of. Some of these groups, I mean, that's a Mini 14 group, or a good Mini 14 group. Look at this one. Federal Premium 62 grain polytip. I gave it an up arrow, but that's like an 1.5 inch group. PMC shot like 5 inches. Freak, dude. I hope I can find this video. I think my SD card crashed and I don't have it, but I did take it to 300 yards. This is 77 grain match. That's actually a pretty good group. So the M400 did pretty good there. But I was shooting 77 grain match. I think Federal gold medal match, actually. Last and probably least, this is 77 grain match, a Federal load. And American Eagle. I'm going to classify the accuracy out of my SIG M400 as fair, which is not saying good things. It's fair. I was way disappointed in the accuracy. I showed you the accuracy of this POF and other guns like it. You're talking, and it should deliver half MOA. Is the standard to beat? Therefore, getting to whether would I buy this gun or not? Absolutely not. I would not waste my money on a SIG M400. Hey, if you got it and you love it, I say rock on, dude. Rock on, brother, man. I'm not trying to criticize your choice at all. Well, all I'm trying to do is deliver an accurate tabletop review. That's all I try to do. My overall take on this is an overpriced, overhyped gun. It reminds me of something that competes quite well. Well, I shouldn't say quite well, because the other guns are even more accurate than this. I was going to say the Savage Axis and the Ruger AR-556, and maybe the Springfield Armory Saint. This gun reminds me of those guns. The trigger's about the same, in the same league. The accuracy was actually subpar compared to those guns, especially the Ruger AR-556 was shooting MOA all day long. But it reminds me of those guns, and yet you're going to pay over, well, not over, but close to twice the price on those. So, no. Thumbs down on it. It's going to get a low likability scale considering price. Please understand that. Considering price. So if it was priced again, like those Value AR-15s, this would be a different review. But it's not. It's sold as the new standard in DIARs. That was still on the website when I looked on SIG. That what they should say is, site under construction, we're completely redoing this gun so we won't be embarrassed anymore. In my book, I mean, it's close to the same price and you saw the feature set. Nothing fancy.
Long target.